For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. The Trump administration's mass deportation agenda continues. Its new Operation Tidal Wave led to the arrest of 800 accused undocumented immigrants in Florida during its first 4 days in what ICE calls the first of its kind partnership between state and federal partners. Early Sunday, authorities with the DEA said they arrested more than 100 undocumented immigrants in Colorado Springs at an illegal nightclub. Also arrested a dozen active duty military members who it says were either patrons or security for the club where alleged prostitution and drug trafficking was taking place. This comes after the Trump administration deported 5 children ages 2 to 11 years old to Honduras with their mothers. 4 of the children are U.S. citizens, including a 4-year-old cancer patient receiving treatment. A 2-year-old girl was removed with her mother despite the protests of her father, who's still in the U.S., which sparked concerns by a Louisiana judge. Attorneys say the mother wasn't given a choice. Secretary of State Marco Rubio defended the deportations of American children on NBC's Meet the Press Sunday.
3 U.S. citizens, ages 4, 7, and 2, were not deported. Their mothers, who are legally in this country, were deported. The children went with their mothers. If those children are U.S. citizens, they can come back into the United States if there's their father or someone here who wants to assume them.
More than 1,000 protests are planned across the country this week as part of May Day on May 1st against the Trump administration's mass deportation and government slashing agenda, backed by a broad coalition of more than 100 labor, immigrant, and social justice groups. Their website, maydaystrong.org. Continued fallout over the FBI's arrest of a Wisconsin judge for allegedly helping aid an immigrant's evasion of ICE authorities in Milwaukee's courthouse last week. Saturday, more than 100 people rallied outside the FBI's Milwaukee office in support of Judge Hannah Dugan, who's since been released. The man was taken into custody outside the courthouse after agents chased him on foot. Here's an organizer, Julie, with Milwaukee Alliance, and Milwaukee County Supervisor Justin Bolinsky.
We're here today to tell the FBI that we're not going to let them take the judges that protect us into custody. We're not going to let them criminalize the only people that are standing up for us and for our communities.
The only people that should be doing a perp walk in this whole situation is Donald Trump. He's the one convicted of 34 felonies. He's the one who spent his entire life affording accountability for every single thing he's ever done. So this is all about power, right? This is not about the law.
President Donald Trump's administration has accused state and local officials of interfering with his administration with his immigration enforcement priorities. The arrest comes amid a growing battle between the administration and the federal judiciary over the president's executive actions on deportations and other maneuvers. Civil rights advocates have renewed concerns immigrants detained at Guantanamo Bay U.S. Naval Base in Cuba are being held on extreme isolation, cut off from meaningful access to legal counsel or candid communication with their relatives. Attorneys say in a new court filing Saturday there's a climate of extreme fear and intimidation that interferes with the constitutional rights to due process and legal counsel. The claims are made in a suit on behalf of 2 Nicaraguan immigrants and asks a federal judge in Washington to intervene. The Kremlin has declared 72-hour ceasefire in Ukraine next week as Russia marks Victory Day, its defeat against Nazi Germany in World War II. Russia's President Vladimir Putin ordered the truce will run from the start of May 8th and last through the end of May 10th to mark that victory. The International Court of Justice has opened a week-long hearing on Israel's obligations to allow humanitarian aid into occupied Palestine today. Israel's blocked aid from entering Gaza since March 2nd, nearly 60 days. The United Nations is warning the aid system is near collapse. Ambassador Amal Hajazi spoke on behalf of Palestine at The Hague.
The Palestinian people are being starved, bombed, and forcibly displaced by Israel, their unlawful occupier. Israel has not allowed food, water, medicine, and medical supplies or fuel into Gaza for the past 2 months, a policy supported by the highest court in Israel, which rejected petitions to allow aid into Gaza on several occasions. Death looms large, including by starvation, which has already claimed the lives of 59 Palestinian children.
The decision will not be legally binding. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes across Gaza have killed more than 130 Palestinians over the weekend into today. Murder charges have been filed against a suspect in a weekend car ramming attack that killed 11 people at a Filipino heritage festival in Vancouver. Prosecutors have charged a 30-year-old man with 8 counts of second-degree murder, say more charges are possible. Terrorism has been ruled out. Authorities say the man had a history of mental health issues. It comes as Canadians are voting in the Prime Minister's election. I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.